Welcome to Marathi ML channel. Today we are going to start the third lesson of the book Hands-on Machine Learning with Scikit-learn and TensorFlow. So in this chapter we are going to focus how to solve the classification of type of problem using machine learning algorithm. So just to recap, as of now we have completed the two lesson from this book. In the first lesson we have understood the generalized machine learning types, specifically regression and the classification, and we already covered the end-to-end machine learning project on the regression type of problem, where we were basically focusing on predicting the house price value based on some input data. So I would request you, please visit those lessons. I have created the playlist for that. I'm giving the link in this video, so please watch it out and come to this chapter so that give it will clear your doubts, and it will clear your concepts as well. Now in this classification task, what is the agenda today? Let's see. So for this we are using MNIST dataset, and this is a popular dataset in the machine learning. Whoever wants to learn the machine learning and data science field, and it's a kind of hello world problem, I can say. So we just learn what is this MNIST dataset look like. uh, we will try to visualize this dataset. We will print some numbers using the Matplotlib, and we are going to do one basic machine learning problem that is called as a binary classifications. So not wasting too much time in the detailing, let's jump to the Jupyter notebook. So if I for that we are using the sklearn dataset. Sklearn datasets come up with some kind of packaging called as fetch openml. Whatever the popular dataset it has, it is already embedded into this kind of packaging. So it's good to use those packaging rather than importing from any other external resources. So I'm using that stuff only, and here I'm importing the dataset of MNIST 784. Now generally in sklearn, this dataset contain in the dictionary. Now if you look at this dictionary, it contains a data, it contains target, it contains frame, it contains category, feature name, target names, description, details, and URL. So what exactly means that? Let me give some time to explain this so that it will be very helpful for you if you want to do any kind of homework on this. So data contains your actual data. Okay, target contains, so you can say this is your feature X, generally we call as a X feature. Target contain, it is a your label data, label, so the thing you wanted to do the prediction. Okay, so this is X, this is Y. Then we have the this call as a frame, you just look at it, what is that. But we have categories, feature names. Feature names is basically the what are the features it has. Okay, so in the X train, what are the features it included, so you can say this is a X dot column. Then target names, it contains the what is the target we have. Now in MNIST dataset we are this is a okay, I'll explain you, but it contains the target, description of the dataset, and some of the details and URL. So you can just try out what it contains, what else, but these are the keys. Normally all the dataset in sklearn is consist of. Okay, so you can try out different datasets as well, no need to import externally. Now let's try to get the train data, that is X data, and we will see how it look like. So 1 minute. Yep. So for that what I'm going to do, I'll say X comma Y. I know that my X is in the MNIST key call as a data, and my target contain in the target key. So I'm going to, let's try to get that data. After that, we will going to see the shape of this data set. The shape of this data set is something called as a, sorry, x dot shape. It's a 70,784. So let me jump to the slide once more again, and here I'm going to explain what is this MNIST data set. So MNIST data set is basically a 70,000 small images. It's a 70,000 small images. It's a handwritten digit. So who has prepared this data? This data is prepared by the high school and the employee of United States of Central Bureau. So they have created this 70,000 small images, and all these are handwritten. If you look at this picture, if you see, all these are handwritten by different students and the employee of the United States Central Bureau. So this is, and uh, using this data set we are going to we can derive the many problems, but in today's lesson we are going to see, using the machine learning algorithm, are we able to predict whether this number is 5 or not. So I'm going to explain in detail, but in just to give overview, this is called as a MNIST data set, and this MNIST data set contains the 70,000 small. So how many rows we are having? We are having almost 70,000 rows. Okay, and if you look at the and the column, the column contains this 784. So 784 is basically pixel. So each number has 28 cross 28 pixel size. If you do the multiplication, it contains 784. So you can say we have almost 784 column and 70,000 row, and the pixel size of each image is 28 cross 28, therefore it's a 784. And in this 28 cross 28, if you draw the 28 cross 28, so it contains a number from 0 to 255. 0 means white, 255 means black, and accordingly you can visualize which number it contains. So remember, this is a image data set. Okay, now let's jump to the Jupyter notebook so that I can explain the further things, and let me clear the screen first of all. Yes, so let's check. Now we understood what is the dimension of my X data. It's a 70,000 and 784. Why 784? Because each image has a size of 28 cross 28. Now let's see first few data so that I can explain you. Yeah, so X head gives me the first 5 rows, and if you see, the first 5 rows contain something 000 till 784. Now due to the window size, it's not showing the between few pixel values, but you can just understand the starting from 1 to 784. Now if I want to see which the first row contain, then I'm using the LOC function, where I'm predicting what, sorry, this is a small x, let me use capital X. Then you can see it's contains the, again, just still 784. Okay, from 0 to 784. And if I wanted to know that which number it is, then I can use y of 1. So my first row contain, so this is a first, but my first row it's a 0 because row is starting from 0. So if I see y of 0, it's 1. Y of 1, it will be something different. So if I want to print first 5, 0 to 5, you can see there are different numbers it contains. So first row contains 5, second row contains 0, then third 4 and 1 and 9. So these all are the number we have. Now let's try to draw the first number. So we know that we have the pixel information. So what I'm trying to achieve now using the plotting, I'll first explain and then I will we will go through the code. So what I'm trying to do, if you see my, this is the 0 actually. Okay, so these, so from pixel 1 to pixel 784. Okay, and here is my target. Okay, so first contain 5. So whatever pixel is required to draw the 5, it contains this information here. Okay, so definitely it has number from 0 to 255 to construct the image of 5. Similarly, it contains the second row, where the pixel starting from 0 to 784 with the pixel from 0 to 784 from number 0 to 255, and it construct the image of 0. Similarly goes with the 4, 1 and 9. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So what we are going to do, we will use the first row, use the Matplotlib and try to draw the image, okay, of 5 using this pixel information. We are not trying to draw, actually we are using the code of Matplotlib. Use this pixel information, see are we getting the image of 5 or not. So this is what we are going to try now. So this is very helpful guys. This will also help you if you want to draw any kind of image, the binary information which you have. Okay, so let's first import the Matplotlib. Yep, matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and then what I'm going to say, I'm say some digit, okay, some digit is equal to x dot loc. So for this image we are going to first row, that is we know that it contains 5, and then after that we know that it's a 784, so dimension is a 1 dimension. So to draw the diagram, so normally when we draw the diagram in the Matplotlib, let me take the pencil again. When we draw the diagram in Matplotlib, it should be the 2 dimensional, okay, so x and y, but currently our row contains the single dimension, that is 784, nothing, there is nothing, right, 784 information, because this is a series, so if you want to draw, we have to do the reshaping so that this 784 come into the 2 dimensional, so it contains 28, so this kind of information, so we have to do the reshaping. Now how we can do the reshaping? So let me take the cursor. Yeah, so to do the reshaping, let me mention this as a digit image equal to some digit dot values. Now I'm taking out the values from that, and then I'll call the reshape, and a shape I want 28 cross 28, right, and then after that I'm passing this information to plt.imShow method, and I'm giving this as a some digit image. Fine. After that I know that if I draw this, it will show the axis, so I'm just for the good visualization, I'm making my axis as a off, and then after that I'll say plt dot show. We will able to see now, if you look at, we are able to see this is a 5 number. We have see the second number is a 0, so let me change the 0, because my 0 contain in the first row, so I am passing that location. Now if it is 0, let me see the next number, my 9 contain in the 4th row, so let me pass the location of row here, and it will give 9. So now this way I think it's very easy. I hope now you guys understand. If you not aware how to use Matplotlib, I haven't done anything, I'm just using the plt functionality, that is matplotlib.pyplot, and I'm passing the image. Definitely you have to consider the reshaping if it is required, otherwise you can pass if you have the pixels information, and then just draw this. So this way we are able to see that whatever data set we have, it is a correct one. Now next step, what we are going to do, it's I can say the training. But before the training, let me show you one thing. If you look at the type of my target data set, okay, that is y, sorry, it's a series. Let me see the first. Yeah, if you see, it's a str, it's a string, and the type of problem we are going to solve, it's a binary classification to check whether that number contains 5 or not. Okay, so it's a str string type of data set. Let's convert that data set into the integer. So to convert the data set into the integer, we are using numpy as np, and then what I'm going to do is that y is equal to y dot s type np dot uint 8. It's 8 byte integer, that's why I'm saying uint 8. Now once I numpy, okay, spelling, yeah, import, done. Now let's check the type again, and I hope this time it will convert it into the integer. Yeah, that's okay. Now I hope you understand what problem we are going to solve. The problem is very simple. Let me explain you once again before jump to the to train this classification algorithm. Solve, it's a binary classification problem. Binary classification problem. So what it means that we contains this some feature, right, from 0 to 70,000 row, right, and each row contains some image, okay, image of digit, whatever digit we have. Let's say we have 5 0 1 4 9. So what we are trying to say, that we are passing this information to the our machine learning algorithm and check whether this digit is 5 or not. So first row it contains 5, so definitely our ML algorithm will predict this as a true. The second row contains 0, so definitely it will give false. Third, it will give false. Fourth, false, and again false. So suppose this next contain, it must give the true. So this binary classification problem we are going to solve whether the digit is 5 or not. If it is 5, my ML algorithm should give answer as a true, otherwise false. Don't worry, in upcoming video we are also going to see how to solve the multi-class classification problem using any machine learning type, in using any machine learning algorithm. Okay, so let me delete the screen and jump to the notebook. Okay, so to solve this, it is very important to split the data before any pre-processing. So let me split the data into xtrain, then xtest. At least we are going to split using the 90 and 90 10 ratio, 90 to 10 ratio. So y train, and then okay, let me this make it as a small, and then y test. Okay, so we know that we are going 90%, we wanted to make as a 90% as a train data and 10% as a test data. So 90% of 70,000 is coming to 60,000, so I'll passing from 0 to 60,000 row here into x train, and in x test we are passing 10%, so that is 10,000. So 60,000 to remaining one comes to the x test, and in y train I am passing same 60,000. So let me just copy, save some time, and I'll make it this as a small y, smart y, yeah, and then I'm going to run. Now for the binary classification problem, okay, one thing that we have the train test split here. Let me write down here for your information. So we have this completed train test split. Okay, now we have also need to prepare our target data set, because we know that our target data set contains the number. So how what target data set we want? We want true and false type of data set. So if now my y train 5, I'm preparing the new data column of my target data set, y train 5 is equal to, if my y train should give, if it is contain 5, it must give true, so this will result true if it is 5, else false. I hope you understand why haven't why we have converted string to integer. If we don't do this, then what, we are not able to create this dataset. So to create this dataset, we have converted from string to integer type of dataset. After that, similarly we have did for this train, let's do for test as well. And again the small hack to copy and paste here. Okay, and let's change the name. So y test, and here it is a test. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, it's completed. Now for this classification type of problem, the algorithm we are using is called as a stochastic gradient descent. Not going to explain what is stochastic gradient descent. In upcoming lecture, I'm definitely explain in detail what is stochastic gradient descent in very deeply. But why I'm using the stochastic gradient descent, the reason is very simple, because stochastic gradient descent works very well with the large type of data set. It's very good for the online. Now you know that we have almost 70,000 row of data. It's a huge and it's a large data set, so it's better to use this kind of data sets. For that I'm using sklearn dot linear model and import sgd classifier. Okay, similarly we have regressor as well, but we are doing the classification, that's why we use classifier. So sgd classification is equal to sgd classifier, and we are keeping the random state as 42. Now why we are giving random state, the reason is very simple. Stochastic gradient descent is a is having the randomness in nature. So it means that every time when you run this stochastic gradient descent, it will give the different output. So to avoid this kind of situation, we are providing some random state, so we will not face a different output when you are running again and again this kind of algorithm. And now we have the algorithm ready, and we are passing the train dataset to our algorithm. For that we are using fit method, and the data we have, it's a x train, sorry, not test, train, and the target data we have, it's y train 5, right? This data set we wanted to train our machine learning model. So we have passed this data. It will take a bit amount of time to train our data set using the stochastic gradient descent problem. And once this training is done, we will see whether our algorithm did well or not. Yes, now the algorithm training is completed, and let's do the prediction. So we know that our first let's say HGD classification, I know that my first row having the 5 digit, so here I'm passing some digit. Okay, because my sum digit, let me mention some digit here. Let's say it is having x dot loc. My first, I know that my first row contains the 5 number, and let's try to do the prediction. So, again capital X predict. What is wrong here? Oh, parenthesis missing, sorry. Yeah, it's true, it's giving the answer as true. Let's change the, I know that my second row contain the 0, or my fourth row contain the 9. So if that is the case, it should give the false. Yes, it is giving the answer as false. So this way we understood that my algorithm did very well. Okay, if you wanted to check, you can check why what is my fourth row having, it is having 9, and my first row is having 5th, so that it is giving true. So this way I hope you understand what is how we can train any classification algorithm. The dataset we are using here, that is MNIST dataset, and how you can use the Matplotlib to draw the images. In tomorrow's in upcoming lecture, we will going to see how to do the performance measure, not performance measure, how to measure the matrix. Okay, the classification type of matrix. In earlier regression type of matrix, we have seen the um, mean absolute error, RMSE. So similarly, the classification has a different type of matrix to measure how your ML algorithm is performing. Okay, so till that time, please like, share and subscribe. We will see you very soon. Thank you.